Hello everyone, welcome back to JDCodebase. In this video, we are building a complete to-do app using the React Context API and Tailwind CSS. In this project, you will learn how to use Context API for global state management, how to manage add, delete, and update functionality, and how to persist data using the local storage, how to structure component professionally, and how to style everything using Tailwind CSS. This is not just a basic to-do app. We will structure it in a clean and scalable way, just like real-world React application. In this, as you are following my web development series. In the past video, you will see we are coming from the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. First, we build the project using the this to-do app using the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, as you see in this project videos. And then we rebuild this React to-do app by using the React and use the hook and local storage for data uh, storage, and then we convert its Tailwind CSS into the Tailwind CSS from traditional CSS to Tailwind CSS. Now this one is the special one. Why? Because in this we are using React as usual, and we will define into a well-defined component structure. We use the context API for global data state management, global state management, and use the Tailwind CSS for the styling, like here the when I hover on this and all these. And so this one is not like a basic to-do app. This one is like a scalable app, just like a real-world React application. So let's start, and let's move to VS Code and start writing the code. In this project, we will build three components. First one is this form component that contains this form input and button. Then this list component means this card has a list, and last one is this separate card component. So let's start here and let's move to VS Code. Let me split this screen. So here, first task in the any project is the folder structure. So let's first make the file components. Second one is the context, and inside this make a component. First one is the to-do input.jsx RFCE. Next one is the to-do list.jsx. This one show the complete to-do list. And last one is the to-do card. And for that you can to-do card.jsx RFCE. And here this app.jsx is our main file in this React.js, and I already installed the Tailwind CSS in this project. And in the context, we need the two files, to do context.js, and one more file is it to do provider.jsx. So I will tell you why I built this to do provider. First start with the app.jsx. So in this app.jsx we have to import this to do input, and next is the to do list dot to do list component. Let me import. Why it's not coming? Let me import it manually. Import this to do input from components and to do input, and same for the to do list. Just copy this. So see, to do input and to do list come, and one more heading is the that says to do app. Okay, now here if you see, this one is like a this all are come in a card. So for that let's make a one more div, and inside this it comes. So let me minimize this. So here first set the background. Background is the bg gray 100. Yes, it apply. Minimum height screen, it's take, and make it flex, and items center, and make it flex all. Yes, now it's come to the center of the page. Now let's style the this internal div, this white card. For here bg white, yes, and here width is the full, but maximum width is the XL. And here also give the shadow. Shadow is the large and rounded corner of XL, and margin top is the 10, and give the padding is the 6. Perfect for this. Now let's design this to-do app. And here text center, text 3XL, and font bold, and margin bottom 6. So perfect, it works. Now let's come to the to-do input. This contains a form, means this input field and this add button. So let's design this. So first make it form for better structure, and add here input, type text, placeholder, enter a to do, and also here make a button that says add. Now let's design this. First make a class flex, justify center, and maximum width I give here the MD. So not, and also give here the MX auto, so it comes into the center of the page. Now let's design this this input. Class name, border bottom, yes, it's apply. Text is the XL, PX4, PY2, rounded, and here outline none, outline none, and on focus ring of 2, and on focus ring color is the blue 500. So let's see, yes, it's come. And also here margin right is the 5 to this add button. So perfect, and give here the width is full. It's work. Now let's come to the text placeholder class name. The value and on change I will add after the setting the context. Now let's come to the this type submit button. Here bg blue 500, and here text is the white px4 py2 rounded, and on hover bg color change to blue 700, and transition here is the colors, and duration here is the 500, and make the text XL. Now see, yes, it's work and looks good perfectly. And also this is a type is a submit button, and it's work finally. Now let's come to the to-do list. It show the card here. For that let's design it like first make the a single div, Inside this I have a paragraph tag that show the to do text, and also has two buttons, button multiply 2, that's one for the edit, second for the delete. Now let's design this inner this one is like let's say bg blue 100, and on hover it's changed to bg blue 300. Yes, now it looks good. And on hover in rounded is the XL, and px5 give the padding px4, and also give here the shadow of MD, and on hover shadow is the XL, not the XL, LG, and transition all, and duration here is the 500 millisecond, and also on hover scale of let's say 1.02. so let's see, yes it works. And give a border color, here is the special one, that is the blue 200. see, looks good, perfect. Now let's design this paragraph. Here in this class name, text XL, font bold, width is the fit, border bottom 2, and here maximum width is the full. And also write here one special thing, wrap break words. So if the text here comes like, if I write here lorem 100, so if you see the text are come here, if I did not write this, remove this wrap word break, okay, and also change it to right, not working. Yes, I think it's worked now. So perfect. For this means if the all the works this text is too long, so it comes to the bottom, means not like the out of the bound of this paragraph of this card. Now let's design the buttons. Oh, and let me make it normal. So here class name, and in the button as always px4 py1. If this is a edit button, so I'm giving yellow 400, font bold and rounded, and text is the MD, and on hover BG yellow change to let's say 600, and on hover text is the white, and transition here is the colors. It's okay. Yes, it's come. And I also add the duration is the 500 millisecond, and give the shadow here of MD, and shadow is the white, and on hover shadow is the black. So perfect, it works. And also let me give this same to this delete button, just change the color here from yellow to red, and perfect. And here this is the BG red 400, BG is the 6, And on our shadow here is the same white and black. So now let's design this block here. For this, just write class name flex justify end, and gap here is the 4. White network. Anything issue with it? Yes, it works now. So now this one is changed, and also give here a margin from my 2. So perfect for this. And now let's design this entire width means of this to-do list. For that, just write class name margin y10. So it works. Flex and flex call, and give the gap of 10, and maximum width here is the MD, and on MD maximum width is the LG, and give here the MX auto, so it not moves anywhere. Now one more thing is the, if you see here, this div contains 2 buttons, a paragraph, and remember a rule of thumb is if any JSX part contains many things, and it is a means we are how we separate this means we show into this by using the map method, means this comes into the array form, so that we have to create into a separate file, a separate component. This is the rule of thumb here. For that, just copy here in the to do card and paste here. And here just remove this, give here to do card, and here this one working. So why? Because this contains the whole things, means if 2 buttons here, their functionality also come here, and these functions come here. Now one more thing, if there is no to do, means there is no card, then just write here paragraph tag that says no to do's yet, add 1, and also style this class name text is the center, and text gray 500. Perfect. Means if there is no to do here, just show this message. Now let's come to the functionality part, because this one is this UI is completed. Now let's come to the functionality part. In the functionality, first we have to create a context, a global container. For that we need this to do context.js file. Inside this, make a const to do context equal to create context. So by this we create a context here, and also export this. Always remember this file contains only 2 lines of code, but remember this file is very important in this context API, and always give this in a separate file. Don't be try to oversmart and write here in the app.jsx or any other file. And now let's come to the to do provider. To do provider is like this is the main part, means main file of this code. Means in this file we store the to do's, to do input, everything that we can access in every file comes goes from this. So for that, make a component to do, let me make it RFCE. So now this file is a component, because if we do not use here to do provider, either I have to use here in this file, and this is already a component, means we have to write here to do provider dot like here means to do context and here use dot provider. Means one way is to write this by using this, either this one is the not feasible for the large project, means like in this project it is not feasible. For that we need a to do provider. This one is a separate component, a functional component. In this make to do input and a set to do input equal to use state a blank thing, a blank empty string, and make it one more is a to do's set to do's equal to use state. And here one important thing is to do is a array, and our data is stored into the local storage. Means we have to give all the to do's. First we have to retrieve all the to do's. For that const stored to do's equal to local storage dot get item by key, here is the to do's, and we have to return here whether this stored to do's has some value or not. Means if it is a blank array, then there is no need to use this, just give here the blank array. If it has some value, then make it json.parse store to do's, because when we store into the local storage we stringify into a stringify. Now our to do's here comes. Now let's pass here, means that to do to do context dot provider. The same thing I have, either I have to write here, either I have to write here. The same thing I have to write to do context dot provider, but inside this JSX part, means this return in this to do context dot provider, we have to pass this app.jsx. And how we can pass? By using the children prop, by using the prop children, and here pass this children, and this is a component, so we to do provider and just use here. So now these to do provider is a component. These all things that we are written here are the children here, and we can receive this here. These children we can receive in the React, and we can pass these children here in the to do context dot provider. So this is a basic flow here, actually in the React.js. Means these are the children we can pass into the props, and these props can be used here in this JSX instead of this JSX part. And here we can pass their value, we can pass this to do input and to do's. Now we can use this anywhere in the whole program. Means I pass here to do input and to do's. So let's try to use in the to do input, first one. Yes. So here first we have to call these use context. For that const to do input I want to use, and use context hook. Which context I want to use? To do context. Now I can able to use this to do input, and here in this input value here is the to do input, and also I need a set to do. Set to do is the a setter function. This one is used here for on change event. Means when we change, when we write something, we can directly use here e set to do input event dot target dot value, and also write here in importer. Now let's see here in the to do provider. I am this one is the center of this whole project. So let me write here console.log to do input. Let's try to see. Open the console. This one. So let me write here something property, and I am able to get the value here. So this is how things work in the context API. Means I write here, I can use in the to do input file, in the to do input component, and we can get the value. So now let's come to the O button. Here I have to first in the to do provider. First I have to add the to dos into local storage. For that, make a function const add to do. This takes a value that set to dos, and we are passing it a functional way. So our to dos is an array format. First spread the complete to dos array, then add this new to do. So by this we create a new to do, and this add to do is passed here, and whenever this to do is changed, whenever this to do's is changed, we have to call a use effect that says that this take a functional component, function, a arrow function, a callback function, and a dependency array. Dependency is the whenever this to do is changed, we call this function that says local storage dot set item to dos, and here value is the json dot stringify these to dos. Means whenever this to do's value is changed, this call a function. Means whenever this previous to do change, here not to do's, we have to write here previous. So let's come to the to do input. In the to do input, let's make a function. Function is for handle submit, for the const handle submit. First prevent default e dot prevent default, for it does not reload the page, and make it to do if to do input dot trim is a blank, then just return from this function. Else make a new to do equal to object, and here in this object first I have to give the id. Id is date dot now, because date dot now is unique for everyone, and a text, that text contains a to do input, and all this add to do function, this one here I pass in the values, I can access here add to do, and this function takes a value, that's a new to do I am passing here, and make it blank again. And in this form console, first one is the on submit, this form call this handle submit. So let's try to check. Let me refresh the page. Where is our application? Let me delete So our to-dos is a blank array now. Let me try to insert 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Press enter. What happened? Why my data is not stored? Let debug the value. First check whether our this function is running or not, and I'll submit. In this I am able to get the to do input or not. If yes, then come to the add to do. In the add to do we are getting the value no to do, and in the set to do's previous value in a array format, and we are spread this previous and add this new to do here. And on the use effect, local storage set item to do's json.stringify to do's, and this run on every to do's. Then why there is issue? Console.log, just to check whether our this one is run or not. New to do. Now let's try to console here. I pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Press enter. Anything. What happened to this? Why it's refreshed the page when I get in the to do input? I write here event prevent default. Okay, this just a spelling mistake. Like see, just a spelling mistake. This default value is the A is missing from this spelling from this word. Now let's try to see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Press enter. I get the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. ID a new to do text for a object. In the application also I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me write QRT. I get Y ASTFT. Press enter. I get the values. So yes, our adding the to do is finally done. So let me first remove this console. I hope you understand how to add a new to do here and in this context API. If you did not understand why these context API work, you can also watch my previous video on the context API theory. Now let's come to the rendering part. Means we have to render here in the list form. For that I already passed the to do list. In this to do list component, first we have to retrieve this const to do's equal to use context. Which one context? To do context. Now we can access the to do's array. Here we have to apply a condition. If to do's dot length equal to 0, then use this. Means if it is 0, then if you see this one is removed from here. And also in the we have to map this to do's dot map, and every time it's take a to do, and we pass this to do card, and this to do card has a key that's a to do dot id for a unique one. And also in the to do we pass this entire to do, means this complete object here in this to do card. Now in this to do card we have to first retrieve this in the props, because we are passing from here from the prop it to do. This is a single level of prop, means there is no issue with that. You can pass single level of prop from parent to child component. There is no issue with that. Now here first give the value here that says to do dot text. Now if you see, as I write to do dot text, all these things are changed. Now our to do's rendering is done, means we are able to see If I enter, let me write, press enter, I get the value, these a random value, and all these are entering very well. Now let's come to the main part, how to delete it, how to delete a to do. For that we need to write a function in this to do provider. In this to do provider means we have to filter out that to do from this const delete to do. It's take a id, and in this set to do's we have to call a function that says previous dot filter, because this previous is a to do's and to do's is a map, and we can apply a map to do's is an array, and we can apply filter method on the array. So let's take a value to do, and on every time we have to check whether to do dot id is not equal to that id. If it is equal, then filter out. And now let's pass this delete to do here, the value, and also every time when these to do's change, this use factor runs and we store the updated to do's here. Now let's come to the to do input, not to do card. We can use here these delete to do function, and inside this first import delete to do, again typo mistake I am writing. First use the context, which context, to do context, and on click here on the delete button, on click use a arrow function, not the arrow function, I think just yes, use a arrow function and call this function delete to do, and here id is it to do dot id. Now let's try to see why not work. I think it's not saved. Any issue here. Delete to do dot id, it's take. Formatter, why it's running, wait here, wait a second. Yes, this one is just a means my system is hang maybe, and now it's working, our code is working. Delete to do is means we are passing the to do id, to do dot id, and we can able to delete. I can delete everything, and able to delete everything, and on list if you see to do short length is equal to 0, then it shows no to do's yet, add 1, and when I add 1 to 1 2 3 4 5 6, I can, this message now remove, and this card is come, I can able to delete. Now let's try to add one more. Now our addition is done, reading is done, deletion is done. One last is remaining is that update, means updation. When I click on this edit button, then for that this one is the trickiest one, means for that you have to handle in this to do item, in this to do card button component. First make a edit id, set edit id equal to use state null, const edit text, set edit text equal to use state a empty string. Now make a function that says handle edit equal to, whenever I call this function, means this function is called from here on the delete button. So we call here, where is this? Yes, on click, uh, call this handle delete button or handle delete function, handle edit, it's take a value to do this entire to do here. Now here also we have to write the to do, and that says set edit id is the to do dot id, and set edit text is equal to do dot text. Now I am able to use this. Now here we store the id, edit id means to do id into this, and edit text. Now we have to pass here into a conditional format, means whenever this edit id here means whenever we click on this edit button, so it becomes a input field. For that we have to render it like let me make a, let first just write here curly braces and curly bracket. If edit id is not equal to do dot id, then use the ternary operator, fragments, and pass this complete JSX part here. And else we have to use okay, again I have to write here the yes, just a bracket mistake. One is this. So here whenever I click on this edit button, then it's called this function handle edit id, handle edit, and it's set all the edit id and edit text here. And means if any edit id comes here, we have to make it a separate JSX. We have to use a separate JSX for this. Means instead of this paragraph, we have to use a input. For that, right here, input is the type is text, value here is the to do dot text. Like when I click, right, okay, first I have to remove this, just make it edit. Now let's design this input first. So here class name, border bottom, and bg white, and here px3 py1, text is the lg, and make it rounded, width is the full, focus is the ring of 2, and focus ring black, and here outline also none. So this is a simple input. Whenever I click on this edit button, it says when I click on this, it's take from this. And why take the for both the to do IDs? Wait a second. So now I get the input field. So now I have to update this change to edit button to update, and also make this cancel button delete button to cancel. On click on this cancel button right here, handle cancel, and first I have to declare this, then it comes const handle cancel, and on this just call this set edit id is the null and set edit text to the blank. So when I edit then make it cancel, it works fine, perfect. And also change it to red to gray, and here also gray. So perfect for this, and this is fine till yes. Now let's come to the update. On update we have to call a handle update button in this function, in this component. For that first make here const handle update this, and it's call a function if edit text is the dot trim, then we have to just return, else call a update to do and give here the id and edit text, and set the edit id to null and set the edit text to the empty. So here this update to do comes from the context, from these. Now in the to do provider let's make a update function for this const update to do. This take a two value id and updated text, and when I on this call this set to dos, make a functional way, and inside this apply a map method, and in this map we take a single to do at a single time, and here apply when to do dot id is equal to id, then do something that is expand this to dos, means all expand it to do this to do object, because this one is object, and here change text with the updated text, else return a single to do as similar. So a normal one. Now let's copy and paste here so we can access it directly in the to do card. Yes. Now let's come to the here handle update. In this handle update first we have to give pass the value here. Where is this? Yes, instead of this just write handle update, and here on input we write the values edit text on change event set edit text event dot target dot value. Now our this updation is done. Now let's try to check edit. I want to write here 987654. Why I'm not able to write to do dot text? Okay, I write here to do dot text. No, I want to write here. I have to write here edit text. Now let's see 987654 and update. So see this value is changed. So perfect, our this application is done. I can able to make a like 5 AM walk, press enter, this one is done. I can able to delete, yes. I can able to update, instead of walk I said meeting, just update, and I want to update more, no, cancel it. So means our this context this to do is it done. let me go through all the files. First start with the app.jsx. In the app.jsx we have a single div and just a normal styling and two components, input, to do input and to do list. In the to do input we have a form. A form has the input field and a button. Input field type text placeholder class and a value to do input and set in to do input. Then we created to do context. This to do context is by using this create context, this create a global container for the state management in the whole React app. Now inside this to do provider, this is a component that renders complete app.jx inside this as a children. Inside this we created to do input by using the useState, a global variable, and set to dos. We get the all the to dos from the local storage stored get item to dos. If the stored to dos has any value, then parse it, else make it give it a blank array. And on the add, whenever this add function call, just means extract the spread the complete array and add the new to do here. And whenever new to do whenever to do's array change, call this use effect that says local storage to set item, key here is to do's and json.stringify to do's. And same for delete, and for delete we need only id, and in this set to do's we filter out the to do's by id. Whenever this id comes, filter that. And here on const update to do,